Hello, everybody. It is Friday. Each and every Friday, a few of us get together for a ketone conversation, and we just share out some of the different benefits that we personally have had when it comes to drinking ketones. And tonight, our topic is menopause biohacks. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different tonight. Before we just, share some personal stories, want to educate you first. We're going to share a video that's called Ketones and Hormones. It's just going to give us a foundation, a bit of education before we hear from a couple of people tonight. So I'm going to ask Chrissy to cue the video, and hope you find this video as informative as I.
I focus a lot on cognition, cognitive health, also women's health and hormones, and I work a lot with menopausal women, peri and postmenopausal women, and so I would say those are probably two really large areas of focus. So hormones in the body pretty much impact every biologic process. So they're going to impact cognition, weight gain, metabolism. So pretty much every system or function in the body is impacted by a hormone. Hormones are sort of chemical messengers. And so if there's an imbalance in a hormone, it's not just an imbalance in one system, it has downstream effects that impacts everything else. I get a lot of questions from my patients about how ketones can impact hormones in their system, and specifically looking at insulin and our insulin resistance, and specifically looking at women who have high testosterone levels. They often have high male sex hormones, so high androgens, and they're also quite insulin resistant. And so insulin resistance means that your body's not responding to insulin, so your body just keeps making more insulin to try and force the response that it's looking for. And what we've found is that beta hydroxybutyrate can actually improve insulin resistance, meaning that your body doesn't have to produce as much insulin. That's a good thing because insulin is a storage hormone. So if you have a lot of insulin, it tells your body store fat right around the middle. So we often see that in women when they're moving into menopause, they naturally become insulin resistant. So all of a sudden they're doing everything they used to do, but they can't lose weight. That's because insulin is spiking and it's telling their body store fat right around the middle. There's something called estrogen dominance. When we have too much estrogen in relation to progesterone, that can actually throw off thyroid function because it causes a chain reaction where you end up binding thyroid hormones. So now your thyroid system is off. So an imbalance in one system will throw off the complete balance of another system. So they're all really interrelated and interconnected. There's a lot of concern that the ketogenic diet, so if somebody, for example, is in adrenal fatigue, that it's not going to be beneficial from a hormone perspective. And we're not finding that that's the case. What we actually have found is that beta hydroxybutyrate can help manage our nervous system. So we have a sympathetic nervous system and we have parasympathetic. And in the sympathetic nervous system, that's our fight and flight mode. And our body, that's what we need to pull an all-nighter, to write an exam the next day, or meet a deadline, something like that. And in that fight and flight state, our body is producing cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And the stress hormone, kind of like insulin, will also cause fat storage around the middle. So that's another thing that we see that we have to address. So when we're in that fight and flight mode, we're producing a lot of that cortisol. And so this is also where we see things like insomnia. So we need to transition from sympathetic to parasympathetic, which is that calm nervous system. And what we have found is that beta hydroxybutyrate can actually help maintain the balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic, and actually encourages that parasympathetic or the calm state. And in that calm state, we're not pushing cortisol, our stress hormone, and we're not in that sort of fight or flight state. It calms the nervous system down, will calm the cortisol levels as well.
Awesome. I love that video, and I love Dr. Andy, who is a doctor out of Toronto. So what I want to do right now is introduce you to a friend. This is Sandy Randall out of Milton, Wisconsin. She is a teacher, as am I, and she's been on that menopause roller coaster. So please do share with us part of that journey and how ketones have helped in that department.
Oh, you bet, Erica. I'd love to share because that roller coaster has been really crazy. The mood swings, the fight or flight that you heard Dr. Andy talk about is real. It was this constant feeling of, oh my gosh, and this state of stress and anxiety constantly was going on in my life. And last November, I started drinking my ketones and thought, what the heck, we'll give it a try. I'm going to try to get rid of this extra weight that I have that's building up around my midsection, exactly like she talked about. And since then, I seriously sleep better. I have better clarity. I'm not so easily distracted with every little thing. I can concentrate. I can do task completion without, leaving the room and walking back in because I completely forgot what I was after. I'm sure you can relate to that a little bit. The mood swings have definitely leveled out. I feel like I'm in a happier place. There's less stress. Of course, obviously, in this crazy environment that we're in right now, that certainly sets us up for changes and new challenges along the way. And to be honest with you, I'm not anxious. I'm just kind of level and able to handle the things that are happening in front of me or alongside me or anticipating what's going to come with a more calm state. I know that might sound kind of crazy, but I'm no longer hollering at everybody in my family. I'm not snapping at them. I'm using a calmer tone of voice. I'm in a happier place. Like I said before, that the mood swings have stopped, which is pretty darn amazing because it was pretty yucky. The mood swings, the hot flashes, the lack of sleep, just all the way around. And I honestly attribute this to the ketones because as soon as I started introducing the ketones into my body by drinking them twice a day, which has been really key for me, I've needed to stay consistent. And by staying consistent, I'm reaping the benefits in all areas: better sleep, better mood, lack of impulse eating, which has been crazy. So that's gone. I don't crave the junk anymore like I was before. I actually look forward to drinking my ketones because I know that I feel better when I'm drinking them. I've actually gotten to a point where if I start to feel that nervousness or anticipate that there might be a situation I'm getting into, like in the afternoon with my kids at school when they're getting loud and crazy and anxious because their day is just about done and they're tired. If I just, shake up my ketones and start drinking them, it just calms my nervous system down a lot and makes me feel so much better. So just the fact that I have better energy that's sustainable, it's consistent. I don't spike and crash that energy level anymore. That's amazing. The clarity, the control, and just the all over good feeling that I have has really helped those menopausal symptoms kind of level out. So
Thank you so much, Sandy. Now I'm going to invite Kirsten also to speak on this topic and share what you can around this topic tonight.
Yeah, so it's really interesting thing. So I ended up having a hysterectomy. So I'm 48. So at 47, I had a hysterectomy, and I knew that when I woke up from that hysterectomy, that I would be instantly in menopause, and there was a lot of unknowns with that. What was I going to feel? What kind of symptoms was I going to have? And I knew going in about hot flashes and imbalance, and I was told that my metabolism was going to struggle and that I was likely going to have more, that losing weight would not be as easy, that it would be harder. And I'll be darned if that wasn't the truth. And so for me, certainly I started using ketones for other reasons. Certainly the focus and the clarity are really important to me. But for me, it was the value that it gave to my daily routine and adding the supplement to my diet to help kickstart to get me losing weight. Again, it's as our bodies get older, it gets harder to lose weight, and postmenopausal, it gets even harder. And so this has been a fantastic tool for me to be able to to shift and support my body in losing the weight that had been harder to lose. I would agree with Sandy too. Mood, balance, hot flashes. So I really struggled with hot flashes, and I can absolutely say that in the months since starting ketones, that those flashes have been less intense and far fewer. Which for me, it's a great deal. It's a blessing to be able to have those under control. So Sandy and I just wanted to share a few of the results that we've seen and encourage you to not be discouraged at this time in life, and know that there are some biohacks out there, that there are some tools to be able to help you manage the new reality of menopause and postmenopause. So anyway, with that, I'm going to wrap it up. We want to thank you for stopping in tonight to see us. We hope that the information has been helpful. Feel free to pass it along. Feel free to share it. And as always, if you have, if you're interested in knowing more, or you know someone who might be interested in knowing more, connect with the prover or the prove it person that you know, and make that connection. As always, we just want to wish you well, stay safe, and have a really good night.